Hello guys, welcome back. Let me see, am I recording my voice? Okay. So, we've been having an amazing day and the fox did his foxiness. He was singing burger and I'm like, oh baby, we have like this much left in the bank. Burger. And I'm like, okay. I will check and make sure we don't have anything pending and make sure I can get this for you. And I go in to check my account, and the bank had super early, they've never usually done it this early, put next month's money in. And I said, okay, that's done. But then I'm like, oh my god, I'm going to blow through it before next month. Because I don't trust me with money for some reason. And long story short, he got me to go up for burger. And we went to the gas station. Again, they only had onions out. There was nobody there to do stuff. And so I got just 2 big Cokes, 2 big bottles of Coke. So I'll get you 2 big bottles of Coke, then I'll walk you over and get a burger. Well, the girl starts flirting with me, so I felt pretty good. And they were all being really nice to me. I'm like, maybe it's because I'm more confident now that I'm working with Loki and Odin and got rid of a lot of garbage. I do notice I'm a lot more confident around people. My social anxiety is way down, and when it starts to creep up, I'm like, hey, it's okay, people aren't out to get you, nobody's judging you, look at all the stuff you've uncovered. So we did that. And we go across the street, and I order a bacon cheeseburger meal. And this girl charges me like about $3 or $4 more, and I'm like, you know what, I'm tired and hungry, I really don't care. I try to watch my money, but I'm like, well, maybe they jacked up the price. We just won't come back because this place has been a disaster ever since they changed management. And this woman comes over after a while, like sitting there like 15 minutes, and she goes, you know, I've been here 20 minutes. She comes over, her kids come over, and we're all talking, and this is unusual. Usually people don't approach me. From time to time they have, but we were having this conversation. I said, yeah, the last time I was here, I said, I waited 15 minutes and they had made my burger. They just slammed the service door in my face. And she shook her head, and the girl was saying, well, her teacher had ordered something, they gave her the wrong order. Well, the funny thing was, I had said as I was going out, because I had all those experiences last night, I said, God, it'd be funny if, you know, you could show me you're real. You know what I mean? God as in ineffable God, not linked to any one religion. And Loki was just doing his little Loki dance. So she finally gets her order. And they hadn't printed out numbers for some reason, so they call out this random number, and I went up, and I'm like, I'm not sure if this is my order or not. I said, bacon cheeseburger? Because I'd done that before, and he goes, yeah. I said, okay, and I get this bacon cheeseburger in this fancy box, and there's like this smudge of ketchup on the side of the bag. I'm like, these kids. But I bring it home, right? And I'm looking at it, it's in the real fancy premium sandwich box. My bacon cheeseburger turned into a turkey BLT. And that's like a real thick turkey cutlet, which explains why it took him forever to cook it. And I'm like, I think they charged me the wrong price. I don't know, but maybe they did. But I ordered a bacon cheeseburger, not how would you hear BLT turkey from bacon cheeseburger? But it was delicious. And the funny thing was, I had thought I would love to order one of those fancy sandwiches, but I just don't want to spend the money. So it worked out. And Loki was doing his dance. He's like, ha. So he was really, really happy. And he was happy we got turkey, because I normally wouldn't order their turkey because it is a more expensive sandwich. So I think I got it and saved $1 because I think like their turkey's like 9 something and they charged me 8 something. I'm not sure. Because I was like, when did this burger get so expensive? And I'm like, I don't know. I was too tired and hungry to fight with her. So they're really messed up there. But Loki's been really enjoying it. It did take me a long time to get out of bed. I was just so tired after last night going through all these intense experiences, and I was so tired. I was like, I do not want to get out of bed, but I eventually did. And got up, and he was singing his burger song, and so we went up and we got that. And I looked at the roof. Roof looks fine. I looked at the window looks fine, and I tested somebody. Thank you for the advice. I tested the walls here, I tested the walls upstairs, all the walls seem solid and bone dry. I think it might have just been one of those freak once in a lifetime things, but while he's here, if he comes, because I'm getting the very strongest sense that if he does cancel, I don't have to chase him. It's okay. That I could just work on that window. It's just, they're old. Those windows are a couple decades old, and there could be like a little crack or something somewhere. So it looks like stuff's looking a lot better. But if he does come, I'll take his advice on the roof. But even from what vague knowledge I have, I went out and I looked at the roof and it looks fine to me. I mean, that's all this guy does. And this guy that I'm having come, he was honest, because the first time he came, he could have said, "Oh yeah, you need that roof replaced," and replaced it and made more money for himself, but he refused. I asked him a couple times to replace it then. He's like, "No, you don't need it replaced." So he's pretty, I feel he's pretty honest guy. So I'll see what he says when he comes, if he comes. I got the strongest sense though that if he doesn't come, don't pursue it. It's not important. But like I said, sometimes God, Loki, the universe, whomever thinks you need the lesson will use the battering ram to get your attention. And that was really scary. I was like, my house, water, inside my house. So yeah, and it's all been water because it's all been emotional stuff, but it was really cleansing. And I walked past the friend's house, and I got this distinct sense of, you know what, not that you don't need anyone in your life, but you don't need people in your life that have tons of writers and conditions and who are really fickle in their help, who they'll help you almost when they're interested. I think he just wanted to nose around my house, to be perfectly honest. And when they're not interested, they don't have time for you. Because she was just like, uh-huh, 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 uh-huh. I'm like, if you called me, you know I would drop everything. Like, if my phone rings and it's an odd number, I immediately think it's one of my friends in trouble, but whatever. So, so I'm like, I'll give them a couple months cooling off period, and then they'll be crazy to see me again. They're very strange people, and they practiced a brand of Christianity I don't even think the Methodist Church recognizes. But, and I'm not against Methodists. It's just they're a strange church, the one here. They don't heat the church during the winter. As far as I know, that's not a Methodist belief. It's just they had to find the money for the flat screens, and there's stuff going on. I'm not going to spread their personal business all around the interwebs, but they're raising money for that, and it's like, well, how about you pay a heating bill, yo, because your parishioners, this is why they're not coming. Nobody's going to sit in a freezing cold church. I mean, it was so cold when we went Christmas Eve. We were all dressed in our winter coats, and I was like, I should have put on thermers. I had no idea this church got this cold. Whew. So, yeah. But it was really good, and it was really liberating. And, we went over all the stuff I had been into, like, Gnostic teachings and stuff like this, and all this mystical stuff I'd been into. So it was really good. It was really interesting, and it was like I got a lot of my self-confidence back that I had been missing, because being raised Catholic, it'll really knock it out of you. If you know what you confident, hold on one second. Oh, sorry about that. Didn't want to sneeze on you. If you know a confident Catholic, either they didn't go to the same kind of church I did, or the teachings didn't take. It's one of the two. I've told you guys, they used to show us full color, not photos, but art of the saints, of the martyrs suffering for Christ. And Christ, I would know, would be like, they built their religion around suffering and self-denial and deprivation, and I've never known any god to be like that. I love Dionysus and I serve him, and he's like, why is he the one god out of all the gods in the universe? Out of all the divine beings in the universe, why is he the one god who's, neutered, put in a box, doesn't like women, doesn't like this, doesn't like that? He says, sounds like a bunch of people wanted their own religion, and they went ahead and started it. So Dionysus doesn't have any truck with that. He's like, this is a bunch of nonsense. You people weren't sent down here to have, drives and desires and never fulfill them. And Loki's like, yeah, drive and desire is good. So yeah, Loki's like definitely pro Dionysus. So it's been interesting to, you know, get everything caught up, because it's like, you feel like you've gotten a torrent download, but you just haven't digested any of it yet. And the funny thing was, we were playing that game, and we're on the fourth and final level, and we're about maybe halfway through. We're at least halfway through the notes. And I said, this seems so much easier now. I said, I don't know if I'm like remembering it or anything, or they changed these puzzles, but I said, these puzzles almost seem too simple now. He says, no, you're just not worried about every single thing in your life. Every time the house would creak, I would jump and everything else. He's like, you just let go of all the worry and the stress and the fear and the panic. He says, that's why this is so easy. Your brain's finally, you know, concentrating on the puzzle instead of concentrating on being worried. Because I almost thought we'd found a way to cheat. And he's like, no, it's just you're actually able to think about what you're enjoying in the game instead of thinking about all these worries and that. And he's like, don't worry, I'll handle it. It might fall off the track, but I'll handle it. Look, he's a god of shady, ambiguous morals, but yeah, ambiguous. I'm making up new words as we speak, but yeah, that turkey bacon bravo, or whatever they call it, that was really good. And that was a sandwich I would normally not treat to myself. I keep getting this strong message of do not worry about the money, do not worry about the money, do not worry about the money. It's like, that's your one fear, and you got it passed on by your grandmother and your mother and your father and all these other people, and they're like, don't worry about it. They did not say go out and buy a Bentley. They did not say go out and buy a mansion and a yacht, but they were like, do not worry about it. You're going to be okay. No matter what, no matter what situation you get in, you're going to be okay. And I think it's timely for a lot of us. So, you know, sorry, my allergies are really bothering me. So I hope that helps you guys, and you know, we're going to go back, and if I can finish out that level, you know, finish that level out, instead of going on to the final level, which is real trippy and beautiful, I might take you to a couple of those little independent levels. Like there's this beautiful, stinking beautiful beach level, and I just love that one. That's like my luxury beach to run around on, and there's a couple other ones you might enjoy. So if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.